Good morning, everyone. Tractor 44 here. Wow, sounds like I'm in a barrel, but actually I'm in my daughter's house. I've been working on remodeling this old house for a pretty good while. Today I'm down here working on our gas range. Had a little problem with the burner, but I thought, hey, this would be a good time to take a picture of a little project me and my daughter's got going on in the background here. Let me tell you a story about that. My grandfather, he was a farmer, and he had ideas about making making money in all kinds of different ways, which is, commendable. He was born in, I think, in 1882 or something like that. In the 30s, they built a sawmill and all that stuff, out there on the home place. But before that, he was buying and selling lumber. He had a mercantile. He had a blacksmith shop. He had all kinds of stuff in addition to farming. Had hired hands and everything. Of course, my dad had 9 brothers and sisters, so he had a lot of farm help too, until they went off to war and things like that. Had milk delivery service and all that stuff. But at any rate, one of the things the old man did, not my dad, my grandfather, he would buy thousands of board feet of different lumber, from suppliers, all around, and they would be shipped down the Mississippi River. We're right on the Mississippi River, a few miles off. He'd have them shipped down on a barge, on the Mississippi River, and then the kids would go over with their teams and everything, wagons, whatever, and haul the lumber back out to the blacksmith shop or to the farm, and they'd go ahead and sell lumber to the public. Well, some of the lumber that he had that he didn't sell, whenever they quit doing that, back in probably the 40s or so, because I don't remember it all, and I come along in the 50s. But they stored a lot of that yellow pine, tongue and grooved, planking or whatever you want to call it. They stored that up in the second floor of their chicken house there. And then, fast forward another 30, 40 years and all that stuff, and the farm's getting ready to be sold and everything, and we're kind of cleaning up stuff, getting it out of there. And my dad, my dad told me, he said, man, load up that doggone yellow pine, get it out of here, So in the background here, I'm going to turn the camera around a little bit. So at any rate, the old man told me to get that doggone yellow pine out of here. So this is all, they were 10 and 12 foot long, 1x6s, tongue and grooved, finished on both sides, but there's obviously an obvious top and a bottom to every board. But that was stored up in a chicken house from probably in the 30s or 40s, probably in the 40s, all the way up until my dad had me take it home in the early to mid 80s, I guess. And I've had it stored for years and years and years. And so my daughter wanted to make some barn doors to go in her master bedroom, one to cover a bathroom, one to cover master closet, on a common rail that would open and close, one or the other, or both. And so we dug around, we got some walnut that my oldest brother, myself, and my dad sawed on the mill when I first come home from the Marine Corps in 1975. And that's what you're seeing here is a walnut frame on these that we sawed in 75. Walnut framework encompassing that yellow pine that's very near to 100 years old that my grandfather had brought down the river on the Mississippi River on a barge, just the remnants of what did not sell. So at any rate, I thought I'd just take this, just these few minutes just to kind of show you that. I've got several videos in the archives of my daughter and I, assembling these, cutting and planing and putting them together and all that. But they're in the archives. One of these days I'll dig them out and put them on, maybe change this video or add an addendum to them and re-upload this video. But at any rate, I don't know if anybody's interested or not. It ain't nothing but a little man bragging on what him and his daughter does anyway, what the heck. But if you take a look at that, that is a very pretty walnut. Now, it's not perfect. There's some blemishes in it, but what can you say? I mean, we sawed it in 1975. It ain't nothing but sawmill lumber, but we got her worked up halfway decent. And of course, my daughter, she did virtually all the sanding and of course all the finish work. I think currently she's got roughly 7 coats of polyurethane. You can see it glisten there in the sunlight. But she's got, I think, 7 coats of poly on that right now. And she's still got to do some superficial sanding, and there's a run or two that she's got to take care of. But in general, it's a very, very, very good job. And we just can't wait to get these installed up in her master bedroom. So, and I'll probably do a video on that because I've got to come up with some, iron rail and all that kind of stuff. And I've also got some cast iron wheels. It's got some history to it too that my brother was kind enough to give to me, my much older brother, I might add. Yeah, when they go up in her master bedroom, one, like I say, will be over the bathroom door on the left, and the one on the right will be her walk-in closet. And there's going to be a 12-foot 6-inch common rail that goes the full width of the bedroom, and then those big cast iron rollers, about 5-inch diameter cast iron rollers that are going to roll the doors open and closed and all that. Then I've got some very neat cast iron handles. They don't match, but they're authentic cast iron handles that my older brother gave to her that came off of our great-grandfather's barns from my grandmother's side. The wood comes from my grandfather on my father's side. So I know that's confusing, but at any rate, it's got a lot of history to this to these things. And my daughter swears she'll never sell the house. Whenever we install them, they're going to be I've got them reversed here right now, but they're going to come together in the middle, and then they'll have a simulated X, you know, like a regular barn door whenever they're permanently installed. Right now they're just down here in the basement so she can finish the finish and everything. That, and she's waiting on me, you know, to get off my rear and and do the next step too. I tried to make it short and sweet and to the point. I know that's kind of hard for me to do sometimes, but I do hope you enjoyed it. So anyway, this Tractor Man 44, and I think I beat this one to death. I think I am out of here.